Michael Harney, how you doing?
I'm all right.
Well, people really know you as Sam Healy, prison counselor on Orange is the New Black. Third season kicks off middle of next year. But what a huge show this is. We're talking Emmys and Golden Globe nominations. You just scored a few of those, and it just keeps getting bigger and better and better, and that's a huge accomplishment, so congratulations.
It's a huge accomplishment. You know, I really didn't, when I first got the script, I actually didn't think it was going to work because I had done some work, volunteer work in prison, and then we were doing the first installment, and I wanted to see how the shot was lined up in the frame, and I just said, let me just take a look at the frame on the monitor, and man, it was beautiful. You know, it was, the texture of the film was just beautiful, and the depth of it, the feel of it. It really felt authentic to me, and I said, you know, in that moment, it was like a benchmark moment for me. I just said, man, this thing's going to go. And that was when I really felt that it was going to really do well. I just had an intuitive moment about it. I was very excited when Gingy called me to begin with because I had worked with her on Weeds, you know. And so I was real happy to be there. I thought it was a really tall order to achieve for some reason, I guess because of my own experience doing volunteer work in prison.
Well, through your volunteer work in prison or on the show being filmed in a prison, does it ever get too real? Like the whole atmosphere is not exactly, you know, the happiest setting to shoot in.
No, I mean, my volunteer work was, I was on the periphery. I would visit the prison. I used to visit Ossining State Penitentiary, Sing Sing in New York. And that was a maximum security prison. I would visit the guy whose case we were working on. At that time, I was working with the United Church of Christ and the Fortune Society. So I wasn't like in the prison every day, you know. I just would visit this guy and work, seeing what we could do to help him. He went in with really basically no education at all. And at the time we were trying to help him, he had the equivalent to a law degree.
Wow. Well, how about this dynamic with Orange is the New Black being in an all-female prison? What do you walk away with most? I know people don't really think about the female prison system, but anything you kind of that stuck with you that you learned from this?
Well, for me, I'm just really delighted that the marginalized community of inmates, in this case women inmates, is being, there's a light being shed on them and their lives and why they're there and their backstories. And it's being done in such a beautiful way by Gingy and our writing team. And what I mean by that is that they're doing it in such a way where people watching the show can say, hey, man, that could have been me. And that's really, to me, worth its weight in gold, because I think that any marginalized community, especially the inmate population in our world, is really one that's largely forgotten and largely not really being paid attention to. You said it yourself. You don't normally think about those things, and that's very true. So what I'm most happy about is that that community is being given focus and attention, and hopefully people are waking up a little bit that something has to be done.
Do you think that right there is also maybe why the show is so successful, because it tapped into something that people don't really think about, and separating it from the other prison shows that have come before, that this had its own, you know, unique twist to it?
Yeah, I think one of the big things is that people, I believe that people, all of us, we, on some level, we recognize that we're all connected. And so I feel that we all really, on some very deep level, most of the time it's probably unconscious, but we all want to lift the marginalized communities up in a place that's really where justice exists.
Now, I put it out there that I was going to be chatting with you, Facebook, Twitter. I had a few questions come in. This one on Twitter from Lacey. She said, I'd love to know if you could have one celebrity as a prisoner on Orange is the New Black. Who would you want to throw behind bars? Who would it be?
As a prisoner?
I suppose, yeah.
Never thought about that.
I don't think anybody has.
I'd say Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep.
That would be interesting anyway. This one's interesting too, from Michelle on Twitter. Ask him if he's ever actually had a mail order bride. When he denies it, ask him again just for good measure, but actually just ask him who his favorite character is. Not favorite actress, but favorite character on the show.
I'll never tell about the mail order bride. My favorite character on the show is all of them. I don't have a favorite.
And lastly, this one's kind of cool from Facebook from Lauren. If you had the power to make something illegal out in the world that should be illegal, what would it be that you could, maybe dish out a life sentence for?
I'd probably say ignoring children.
How so?
People that ignore children should go away.
Wow.
Parents that ignore their children should go away. Yeah.
Do you ever find people come up to you on the street, like maybe that are too young, that like you say, like kids that maybe recognize you from the show, that you're kind of like, maybe you shouldn't be watching this?
Yeah, I do. I do run into them. I just say, God bless you and have a great day, and take a picture with them and move along, Is it
kind of shocking to you to see that, like how young people are now and what they're watching, especially with maybe something like Netflix? Maybe that is the other side of it, that it's too accessible for kids?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, every parent has their own way of doing things. Mm-hmm. I'm kidding you when I tell you people should go away for life for ignoring their. Sometimes parents in different situations are struggling so mightily with their own stuff that they can't be around, or they're challenged so deeply by their own economic situations that they don't have time to be around. Mm-hmm. I'm really very big on non-judgment, because I think that's really at the crux of everything for us as a culture, as a world. But that's not. Nobody's going to care about what I say about that.
But do you think your character on Orange is the New Black, playing Sam, is so successful because it is a lot like you? Like, you seem to be this, big-hearted, warm guy yourself that is a very caring person.
Yeah, well, Genji knows me. She's been around me, and the producers, they know me, and they're not with me all the time, but they have a sense of me. So certainly I'm sure there's part of me that they put into the character when writing the character, but I assure you there are some heavy-duty stretches there, too.
Well, Michael Harney, thank you so much for your time. Season 3 is coming up next year. Do we have a release date? Yeah, we know mid 2015. Do you know anything more than that?
I don't know, man. I don't really. I just kind of do what's in front of me.
Cool, man.
I don't really know what the dates are, but I don't even know if they have one yet.
Well, thank you again, and best of luck on everything else you got going on. I know a ton of nominations, Golden Globes and Writers Guild, and everything else that's coming your way. And you've had the Emmy nominations so far, and it's such an honor to speak to you. Someone who's been a part of this massive show like this. So it's really defying, I guess, how and changing how we see things. Like this is a historic show right here.
Yeah, I really think that's true. I think it's the way that it's distributed, the way that people are able to watch it. Also the content. I mean, this is really a heavily women-favored show, run by women. That's a good thing too, man, because population of women has certainly been marginalized in our entertainment industry. So it's really pretty cool to be part of that as well.
I guess we should put this out there quickly here too, that for fans of yours, fans of Orange is the New Black, you are on Twitter.
I check it for minutes a day, but I do try my best to answer people. It's Michael Harney 4.
On Twitter at Michael Harney 4. I take it the first 3 were taken. There's no word on getting those back.
The first 3, I guess so, man. I don't know. I didn't set it up.
Isn't that something, eh? Like how people always, like someone out there is probably trying to be you. Like, yes, Michael Harney 2. So make sure you got Michael Harney 4, because that is the real Michael Harney.
That's it, man. That's it.
I've been following Michael Harney 2 this whole time. I feel ripped off. So
that's it, man. Yeah. It's a real pleasure talking to you.
Best of luck and Merry Christmas, my friend.
Merry Christmas.